Yes. Well, hello, good morning, everybody, and welcome at our IT webinar of our next IT traineeships that's starting on the 5th of August. Today, we would like to tell you more about our IT curriculum, as well about the founding story of Motopp, what drives us for promoting our traineeships. And after that, we go to the planning as well of the traineeship. And we talk to some alumni and current trainees in our traineeship. The next traineeship is starting on the 5th of August. And the application for this 5th of August stops at the 24th of June. My name is Vita Brummelhuis. I'm a People Development Manager at Motopp, and I'm the host of this session today. And I will go in conversation with different experts in the traineeships and like our alumni and current trainees, Ladan Rabi and Fadil Aksu. First, I will give you an overview about the webinar agenda. And in the beginning, Jan Prince, one of our co-founders, will tell us more about the founding story of the traineeship, of the Motopp. Afterwards, Siebert van Otterlo will tell us about the curriculum of our IT traineeship. As well, he will tell us more about lessons methods, and why the new curriculum is started. Dave tells us more about the planning of the traineeship, and afterwards Stefan will talk about the people development team, your personal coaching. And finally, we will go to Ladan Rabi and Fadil Aksu, one of our trainees. Ladan is still in the traineeship right now, and Fadil is working at ABN AMRO already. And we will go in conversation about their experiences in the traineeship and in their current work. Thank you all for joining today. First, I will give the floor to Jan Prince, one of our co-founders in the traineeship. And I would like to ask you, what was the motivation to start Motopp?
Thanks for the introduction, Vita, and thanks for having me. And good morning, everyone. Before I start with the motivation, I'd like to tell a little story about, I don't think we highlighted enough what actually is quite important here. I'm very happy with these people, and also I see people I haven't met for a long time. And I remember, I think a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, I was with my small children. I went to the Amsterdam forest, and there's a goat farm. And maybe some of you have been there. If you've not, it's highly recommended. They have all these goats and baby goats, and you can play with the goats, you can feed the goats. And I was sitting there with my kids, and I met the gentleman who will tell about his experience a little bit later, Fadil. And he was there with his wife. I think then kids, right? Not kids yet.
No kids. They were in, they just, I think, was born. They were in those strollers.
Okay. Yeah. But I remember I think it was a Sunday or a Saturday. I don't remember exactly, but a really nice conversation just about life and all kinds of things. And I think one of the things about Motopp that we don't always highlight is that it's also a really special place to meet people. We work with newcomers who had quite often built their lives in the countries of origins and want to rebuild it here. And then you have to start anew, and you don't have a professional network. Probably also your social network is relatively limited. And what I really like, what is happening here, when you start here, you start with a group of 10 to 12 people from all over the world, and they're your peers. And some of them, they become friends, other become networks. But also you'll be in an alumni network where you can ask people like Fadil. And I know there's the Motopp network, but there are also separate networks of, say, the Turkish Motoppers, or I think the female Motoppers. So you can also ask questions and supporting questions from people who were in your position, being new in the Netherlands, and now being actively in a position, probably soon also being hiring managers. that you can ask them questions how it goes. So when I heard that Fadil came on this webinar, I thought, and actually I think quite often about our meeting there because it was quite special to me. And if you talk about why did we found Motopp, I'm personally very interested in people. So I think it's a gift of my life that the whole world comes to us here. And I have the chance to meet people like Fadil and Ladan and hear about their stories, their perspective of life, and working together with them. And I think if the reason why we exist, it's people that quite often did well in their lives. And for certain reasons, not always pleasant, they have to start over again at maybe a different stage or level than they were expected to be, in a different culture, where some of the cultural codes, cultural competencies, they don't know, they don't have, where the job market demands highly specialized skills. And we help them with that. And for me, a personal motivation is like if you see people like Fadil being successful and mentoring and training the next generation. I'm very grateful that he has the time to be here to do so as well. And I'm sure in his work and his family life, he does as well. That's a personal motivation to do this.
Thank you so much, Jan, for sharing the story of you and Fadil meeting at the goat farm, and as well the motivation to start Motopp. How do you see the future for Motopp?
I see this growing. If you look at a larger scale at society here, there's an aging population. There's a growing demand, or I mean, the whole life is becoming IT-sized. I don't know if C-word probably has a right word for that. Digitized probably is the right word. So there's a lot of demand of people, and I think there's a lot of willingness also with organizations to let newcomers get in. And there's also a need because of the aging of the population. Yet there are some difficulties to overcome. And I think we, due to our experience working in Dutch IT for many, many years, we know how to overcome this. So I see this growing and helping more people. Also, when our alumni network is getting stronger, I'm sure they will be incentivized to help the next generation as well. And every good story, right, helps bring on more good stories. So if Fadil does well, the people surrounding him, they are convinced there are many more Fadils that should be given an opportunity to do this.
Yeah, we're excited what the future will bring for Motopp. To give one more explanation about this webinar, as the next traineeship is starting at the 5th of August, that can be in the future for you in IT. The application form will stop in the 24th of June. So afterwards, it's not possible to apply anymore, but we will have more traineeships coming in September and afterwards as well. So if you want to apply later on, that's possible as well. And if you have some questions during the webinar, you can ask them in the Q&A session. I will have a look on it and I will ask them sometimes immediately to the speaker, or maybe one of my colleagues, Dave or Stefan, will respond on you. Thank you so much, Jan, to tell more about the traineeship, the founding story of Motopp. And we will go on to our next speaker today, and that is Siewert van Otterlo. Thank you so much for joining us today. Siewert has a lot of experiences both in academia and in organizations. For example, he worked at the University of Utrecht and organizations like McKinsey. And he specializes in IT. He has a background in mathematics and artificial intelligence, and he joined us this April with the new IT curriculum. Siewert, can you tell us why we had this new IT curriculum? What's this the added value of this new curriculum of the IT traineeship?
Yeah, thank you for the question, and a pleasure to be here. Please keep asking questions in the chat. We designed the IT traineeship to be successful in your first job, and then you can do the rest and be successful in the rest of your career. We both from working in companies, but also from teaching in universities, we found out that you need a little bit of many skills to really be successful. So you need to have some basic skills for your actual first position, but typically that's a junior developer or junior analyst position. So we can give you the basics so that you can really start in your first week. But you also need a lot of knowledge and professional skills to work in those organizations. You will be working in a larger organizations, you will meet many people from different roles, and you have been able to work with them. So you need to have a good understanding of how all the organizations work. So we talk to the partners, we ask them what are our candidates already good at, how can they improve? And they said, well, it would really help people to have a good start if they understand what project management is, what business analysis, the difference between front end and back end development. So we took all of that. We looked at what you basically learn in a university bachelor computer science, and then we stripped it down quite a lot so that it now nicely fits into a 12-week starting course. The starting course doesn't bring you all the way there, but it gets you off the runway. It makes you appreciated and welcome at our clients. And then you have to keep on learning to really become eventually a senior lead developer or whatever your personal goal is.
Thank you so much. I think this is answering Kadir's question as well. If this traineeship is different than the first traineeship in Mendix, Siewert, do you want to explain a bit more about the learning goals of our new traineeship?
Yeah, I also see a good question from Mehmet about the tools. We try not to focus too much on the tools because there's also a lot of tutorials out there for specific tools. But what we, for instance, do is we want you to understand IT organization roles and processes. We do that with an introduction in project management. We learn you making a simple business case in Excel so that you also can work together with CFOs. We do a little bit of requirements engineering and design so that you understand the basics. You can improve on that later if you want a role like that, but at least as a developer, you understand how to work with these people. Then we do a lot of backend development. We currently do that in Python because it's very accessible. We use some of the DevOps tools. We use Jira and Git because many of our clients use it. And then we end up with security and privacy. We found out that our partners just want you to understand their concepts, and then all these companies have their own tools. So in many cases, we give you a little bit of the tool, but if specific tool knowledge is required, we will do some custom additional training for the specific tools for any specific role. It's more important that you understand the basics. I have a very good question from Farouk, but here I have to say no. We are really trying to teach you what our partners want, and they wanted you to be good at presenting, good at communication, and understand their processes. So I would love to support people doing data science and AI machine learning, but we do that outside of the basic IT course. We first have to get you in there and get started and become successful.
Thank you so much, Siewert. There's another question. Thank you so much for sharing us the valuable information. I think it's really valuable to mention as well that Motopp is really oriented at our clients. So in conversation and collaboration with the clients, we will try to find you the best position at one of our clients and connect you to become successful in this position as well. A lot of our trainees always ask, like, what kind of learning methods do you use? How many days do we come to the office a week? Could you elaborate a bit more on the learning methods at this IT traineeship, Siewert?
Yeah, so we decided to use blended learning because there's a lot of good material out there for the basic knowledge, and we're trying to use that. So typically we start on Monday with a day in the office where we are together. Somebody gives a short lecture, sometimes me, sometimes colleagues, and then you get a group assignment so that you really interact with the material. You get some reading and practical assignments where we use Udemy, but also interactive tools like HackerRank where you solve challenges. We do like daily stand-up and a Q&A. So every day you've got contact with your colleagues like you would in a real job. And then on Friday, you typically have to give a presentation or present the group results, which can either be a visual presentation or the working software in ideal case. And this way, it trains you to recognize how you will work at a client situation. There they also have, like, for instance, often blocks of 1 week, and we simulate that. And there also you have to learn to listen, but you also have to learn to present your results. I think that's basically the idea of blended learning. So it will be exactly 40 hours. We want you to feel it like a real job, but we don't want you to work more than this, because the job is also to support all your life goals. And you will be in contact with us every day, but there also be time where you have to work independently, because that's also how you will work with our clients. I think I skipped a question about different tracks. I would say currently we decided to give everybody the same basic training, and then later on we do it in small groups. But it's also important for our planning departments that everybody has the basic professional skills. So we try to give that to everybody. And there's lots of room for specialization, I think, after the 12-week program. But somebody correct me if we have new ideas in the future, because we're always trying to improve.
Thank you, Stuart, for explaining the added value of our new IT curriculum and the teaching methods we use, and the concept of blended learning to prepare our trainees the best for various positions at one of our clients. Next, we dive deeper into the planning, and Dave Baltus, our HR and planning manager, will tell you more about the planning of the traineeship. But first, Dave, how does the traineeship prepare our trainees to excel in Dutch organizational climate?
Thank you for the introduction, Vita. Well, our traineeship is designed to equip our trainees with a blend of soft skills and technical skills, which both are very essential for being successful and maybe thriving in a Dutch work environment. On the soft skills side, we mostly focus on communication, teamwork, and cultural understanding, and also cultural differences. Besides that, those skills we think are crucial for integration and effective collaboration in a Dutch organization. Besides that, on the technical side, we provide in-depth training in IT fundamentals, as Stuart already explained. Some of them are project management, but could also be requirement engineering, UX, UI, design, also software development. All the things we think you need to be a successful IT professional in the Netherlands. This approach, which we think ensures that all of our trainees are well prepared to meet the demands of our partner organizations, but also be successful and kickstart their new career in the Netherlands.
Thank you, Dave. That's explaining a lot. And how do you see that in our IT traineeship program? What is the planning for trainees during the trainings?
So as mentioned, next traineeship will start very soon, and August is open, and we start every traineeship with 2 weeks of what we call the basic training. And there we really focus on presenting yourself, telling your story, and also connecting your story to your new story as IT professional here in the Netherlands. And we focus on how you can be successful in a Dutch organization. After that, this is carefully designed by Stuart. We have our IT bootcamp, IT basic training, which includes 4 modules of business IT, and both programming in the back end and in the front end. And after this basic IT training, we think that everybody has this basic understanding and has the fundamentals to become an IT professional. But now we really need the work experience. So we have this 4 to 12 weeks phase of the traineeship where we focus on agile working. And agile might be familiar for some not. So we will train you from the start on to get really familiar in it. And if you're already familiar, maybe to enhance these skills in agile. And during this agile working phase, we simulate a Dutch working environment. We work at an open source IT project where different roles in IT are possible. And I can name some. You can be developing, you can be testing, you can be writing requirements for the project, but you could also be making designs. So all these things come together and really prepare you for the real deal at the client, which sometimes requires some tailored training. As IT is very broad and the demand of our clients is also very broad, sometimes you'll need some additional specialized training so that you can be successful at the client that makes a request or to fulfill the demands of the client.
Thank you for explaining the basic training in the IT bootcamp, Dave. As Dave is mentioning, we both focus on soft skills training and technical training as well. I think that's a good introduction for our next guest. That's Stefan van der Mannik, our People Development Manager. Yeah, Stefan, what is the added value of the People Development team for our trainees?
Thank you so much, and thank you for the introduction. So, as People Development Managers, we provide guidance for trainees both in training and while working already at our client. During the traineeship, we support the development of soft skills and practical issues such as preparing a resume or practicing for job interviews. Once trainees are working at the client, we constantly measure their progress and maintain constant communication with the client to identify areas of growth and, if needed, to make sure that appropriate training is provided. Now, experience for the past several years have shown us that people can really manage it on the technical aspect, but they often struggle with the cultural part. So having someone around you or guiding you who knows about the Dutch culture and knows about the Dutch work environment really adds significant value.
Thank you, Stefan, for explaining your valuable role as a People Development Manager. I saw a question in the chat about if there's also an option to prepare like a job interview in Dutch. And I think you can tell also a bit more about your functioning, helping trainees with their job interviews.
Yeah, of course. So the main language in our traineeship is English. But as you can imagine, in the Netherlands, we have a lot of Dutch-speaking clients. So that means that they might also be looking for Dutch-speaking trainees or employees. So if you, for example, be able to speak Dutch on a level of B1 or B2, and the job interview is going to be in Dutch or partly in Dutch, then of course, we can always help you and help you in trying.
Thanks for explaining. And what are the requirements for trainees to enter our program? Yeah,
that's a good one. So as you can imagine, there are some requirements to get into the traineeship. First of all, you have to be a newcomer in possession of a valid Dutch residence permit. As I mentioned, the language of our traineeship is English, so a skill of B2 level or higher is required. Then also a bachelor degree or higher, affinity or work experience in IT is also required. And last but not least is full-time availability. And this is an important one. Our traineeship is quite intense. So therefore, we really make it mandatory to be available full-time. And this also means that you are able to come to our office. So because it could happen that 1 week, the face-to-face lectures are on Monday and Wednesday. And the week after, these lectures are on Tuesday and Thursday. So in that sense, it's really necessary to be able to join our office any day of the week, from Monday till Friday.
Thank you so much, Stefan, for giving more information about the requirements and the selection procedure for our trainees. I think right now we go to our Motoppers, Fadil Aksu and Ladan Rabi. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're really excited to hear your experiences of the traineeship, and for Fadil in your current work at ABN AMRO. Because Fadil, you started the traineeship already some time ago in July 22 as part of the Mendix 8 Band of Motoppers team. You were part of the old curriculum in which we trained our trainees to become a Mendix developer. And because of that, you are working at ABN AMRO right now as a Mendix developer. Yeah, we're excited to hear more about your experiences. And next to that, we have Ladan Rabi with us today. And you started with the new curriculum this April in the TechWitch team. And you just finished your introduction training, and now you started with the basic IT training. And yeah, Ladan, could you tell us a bit more about your current phase in the traineeship?
Of course. Thank you for having me here first, and thank you for the introduction. Well, at the moment, we are focused on the front-end development of our application. And in a few hours, actually, I'm going to have the first demo for front-end today. I would like to mention how we started, because it was very interesting for me being a Motopper, or becoming a Motopper. We began with this personal development phase, and we learned more about different personalities, traits, how they contribute in a professional setting, how we should work in teams and all. And then, of course, with Seaward, we learned more about agile ways of working. We actually practiced them, and then we had the more technical part, which was starting our applications. We finished the backend phase, and now we're focused on front end. Actually, my teammates and I are working on this web application where people can sell and buy products throughout bidding. So we are responsible for the development of both backend and front end to deliver a working application.
Thank you so much for sharing. Yeah, it's valuable to hear that the traineeship is really contributing to your personal as well as professional story. And how is a day looking for you in the traineeship? How is the day for you?
We start at 9 sharp. With a stand-up with everyone in the group, and we decided to have a rotating Scrum Master so that everybody can experience being a Scrum Master, and we give updates about the work we have done and what we're going to do if we faced any challenges. And then it usually takes around 15 minutes for everybody to tell what they have done, to give updates. And then I will have another meeting afterwards with my own teammates with whom I'm working on this project more closely. And we will go more in depth. We will again give updates on the tasks we have done, challenges, what we're going to do during the day. And for me personally, I would always start with, after the meetings, I will always start with reviewing. If there is any code from my teammates that I have to review, then focus on my own tasks. And during the afternoon, we will always have a Q&A session with our lecturers to ask the questions or challenges that we couldn't solve ourselves. And then we will continue till the end of the working day.
Thank you so much. Busy days, but a lot of things to learn. That's really nice with your fellow trainees as well. And how is the traineeship contributing for both your professional as your personal development?
That's actually a very nice question. It does contribute both professionally and personally for me. I would say that, like, personally, I'm really gaining from interacting with different personality in a dynamic team with a variety of like cultures, people, and personalities, and I'm learning how to work in the team to be more effective, to help improve the dynamic of the team, and how also the others can contribute better. It just overall helps me understand working with different people better. And as for the professional stand, I would say that, well, of course, developing your own application, you will face a lot of challenges. So I'm learning how to research, where to research, what kind of information is actually valuable for the question that I have. And it's overall expanding my information. I think people would learn throughout challenges, and I think Motopp will really, what it provides you is a supportive, safe environment to actually overcome the challenges and learn.
Thank you for the inspiring words, Ladan. We're really happy to have you in our traineeship and to see you grow personally as well professionally. And we're excited what the future will bring for you. But that means a lot. Good luck with your demo this afternoon. And see you soon. Then we go to another alumni trainee, Fadil Aksu. You're already working at ABN AMRO. And we met each other last week at ABN, and it was nice to see you at your own office, and it makes us proud to see you grow every day. Can you tell us also a bit more of what a day for you look like at the office?
Yeah, thanks a lot to give me the opportunity to show up here again after almost a year later. Yeah, actually, I first I want to mention that the meeting with Motopp is kind of the turning point in my life, because for a newcomers, when you are in the new country, you don't have any relatives or family, you feel really lonely. But in that case, Motopp become our family here, and they support us in kind of all ways. So I'm really, proud of being Motoppers. Yes, I'm right now internally in ABN AMRO, but still, and I feel myself still as a Motopper. Yeah, thanks to being there. Really, I'm just telling that in bottom of my heart. Yeah, for me, actually, in the bank, I'm the responsible for the entire the application lifecycle. We start from the scratch, and we are responsible until the deploy into the production environment and maintenance mode too. The maintenance tab application. So it's kind of in the bank is kind of complex part, because it's you are not only responsible for the the creating application, also you are the responsible for the creating the environment. We don't use Mendix cloud. We have our own private cloud, and also we need to deal with other technologies, the Azure. We use Azure and the pipelines and ServiceNow, that kind of stuff. So yeah, we do all that kind of stuff, and deliver the application basically.
Thanks so much for explaining your work at ABN. When you look back on the traineeship, what do you still remember? What is like one thing that pops in your mind? What's the best moment in the traineeship for you?
Yeah, in the traineeship, actually, I really found the funny and the it helped us a lot. Our the development part. It was demo part, because you develop something, and actually only your the team members knows how you develop it, and no one knows what's happening behind. But and you have the actual time to show what you have created in the demo part. The people are you have audience. You can make the jokes. You can make the polish it, and gather the feedback. Gather the feedback from the audience. It could be the other the team member, or your the trainers. Then in that case you can the see, and also not only your part. Sometimes you just see the your other the friends create the better the application. I say, yeah, damn it, I should, to join their meetings too and steal some idea from there and, they implemented that in our own application. I really had fun in the demo part. I still remember, I don't know if some of you remember remember those, the demos. Yeah, that demo part was the best for me.
That's nice to hear, and it's good to hear that Ladon is right now in the demo part, improving herself, and that you're like thinking back about these moments as well. That's nice to connect, and the stories like connect with each other. Thank you for sharing your experiences at ABN AMRO and your current work and looking back at the traineeship. We're happy to see you grow every day at ABN and that you're part of the Motopp family as well. I'm going back to one thing because I forgot. Stefan would tell about the selection procedure as well, and I will give the floor back to Stefan to tell you a bit more.
Yes, thank you so much. I saw some questions also in the chat, so it would be good to answer those as well. So the selection process involves several steps, including 2 interviews and 1 assessment. So in the first interview, we really get to know each other. We'll talk about someone's experiences, and we will discuss the program. Then if we see a potential match on both sides, we will invite the candidate for a technical assessment. In this technical assessment, we will evaluate someone's problem-solving abilities, mathematical skills, and ability to work with data. After passing the assessment, candidates are invited for a second interview, which is also the last interview, where we really focus on someone's personality, also experiences, and their ambition.
Thanks so much for explaining. Hopefully that answers some questions in the chat, but afterwards we have a Q&A as well, and we will have a bigger look at the questions, about all your burning questions, we get them answered. Yes, and then we go to the events, because with Motopp we think social contact is really important. We would like to see you grow and be part of this journey for you to become an IT professional. For example, next week we have a family day. Every year we organize a family day where we come together with all your families, the tiny little ones, the older ones, to have a chat, play some games, drink something, have something to eat, and discuss everything with each other. Next to that, last January we had a Jeu de Boule event. Some people were quite competitive, but we played some Jeu de Boule, a typical Dutch game, and we enjoyed the conversations as well. And it was really nice to meet everybody and come together. We have some other successful stories to tell. For example, we got a PSCO plus 30 prize, and that means that our social impact is at our core of our business, and it's really important for us to have this certificate as well. And some other pictures on the lower front is that on the left it's our Rabobank, our Pega systems team is started in February there. We went to Annexus and see our 4 Motoppers thrive in their role at Annexus as well. And on the right, that's a new team starting this month. So we're really excited to share our success stories with you, and we're really proud of our Motopp team. So our next traineeship is starting at the 5th of August. You're able to apply until the 24th of June. If you're not able to enter this traineeship, there are coming more traineeships afterwards. And for now, we will have a look if there are some questions who are not answered. Let me look.
Maybe I can already answer one of the questions. I see a question here from Mini saying, I have no experience with software development, but more in learning and development. people side, and change management. And if people like me can participate in the program. So as long as you fulfill all the requirements and you really are able to show your affinity with IT, you're always free to apply.
Thank you, Stefan. I think another questions, that's a nice one of Farouk as well, about the certification of the traineeship. Dave, can you tell the trainees a bit more about what kind of certificates they are able to get in the IT bootcamp afterwards? You're muted.
I see. So for sure, so certification is possible, but it really depends on which role you will fulfill at one of our future clients. So yeah, this may vary. It can be a certification in technique, working method like Agile, or maybe another framework. But yeah, this really depends on your future roles.
Thank you. And there's another practical question from Fatih, and that's about if we have partners in the northern part of the country. We have partners from all over the country, and it's good to be aware that sometimes, like twice a day, you have to travel to the office. Our office is headed in Amsterdam. And we have partners from all over the country, so it's able to connect you to a partner that's, for example, in the north of the country. We just started a new collaboration with Friesland Campina, and we're really proud of this this collaboration. So it's suitable for you to enter the program, but you have to be aware of some travel time. On certain days, you have to come to the office. But of course, there are partners in the whole of the Netherlands. And let me check if there are other questions, burning questions. Yes, there's a question about what's the average time to start a paid job after finishing the traineeship based on your experiences? Stefan or Dave, can somebody answer this question?
Sure. Shall I do it, Dave?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
So yeah, on average, we see that people spend 6 months in our traineeship before they get or secure a job through Motopp. Some people maybe with a technical background or maybe a bit more luck, they walk through it faster than those 6 months. Other people might need more time to get up to speed on the technical side or maybe on soft skill side. But we see that on average it's around 6 months.
Thank you for explaining. I think these were some burning questions. We can have a look at other questions as well and answer them. But for now, I think we're heading to the end of the traineeship webinar. We're really excited to have you here today, and we're really proud of you choosing for Motopp as well. Thank you so much for watching. Be aware that the application form is closing down at the 24th of June. And we are welcoming you from the Motopp team, and we hope to have you on board very soon, that you can start your journey to become an IT professional. Thank you so much for watching, and see you soon.
Thank you. See you guys soon.
Thank you. See you soon.
Thanks. Bye.